Chiefs, baby. I know you're a big Chiefs fan, and that was awesome for you. And then you can't go a few days without, then I guess you can get shot anywhere
Pretty
you
much
go.
anywhere. Yeah. Yeah.
Theater, Super Bowl party, school.
It was awful.
Do you foresee us tackling issues like this at all, or no? Or is this something that you don't necessarily want to talk about?
I celebrated a Super Bowl. That was fun. So
yeah,
that took,
congratulations to the
took
Chiefs.
a week. How about that? That was fun.
I mean, sometimes we do get kind of serious on a live. I know you're a big Chiefs fan, and that was awesome for you. And then you can't go a few days without then at the celebration.
It was awful. Yeah,
And
it's friends
did
and
you know
family
people
there.
that were out there, or what?
I
Did that freak you out?
I think I felt like they were pretty safe, but it's like weird, you just don't know who you're gonna, cross paths with, like when you're looking like social media or something. I had a really good friend, and his young boys were out there, but they go early. So he goes to like the beginning of the parade. So he left early. I knew he was back. And then my brother-in-law and family were down there, but they were also safe. So yeah, it was just kind of weird to think through that. Cause it just closed. I was kind of watching it on my laptop off to the side and then closed it. And then all of a sudden started hearing all this stuff. I was like, what?
I mean, do you feel guilty for coming in after that happens and you're like, Chiefs, baby? I mean, how do you put something like that into perspective? Or are we to the point to where it's kind of just accepted, right? That
it's kind of sad. I mean,
it's just what happens, and you roll the dice or the roulette wheel, and
I think it's probably because they'd had, they do a big like St. Patrick's Day parade too, and then you've had a few Super Bowls in the last few years, so there's been people down there kind of used to it. So I don't think they were expecting that, and obviously it just caught a lot of people off guard. Like you said, it sucked to go from all this like just fun times, especially just kids. Like that's the whole fun for them, man. It's to go down there and just kind of enjoy it,
right? And
then to go south like that was like, dude, what the hell?
Yeah,
it's sad.
Aside from the fact that I don't like going out anyways, and I'm not going to a parade. I'm not going to go do anything. I mean, I guess you can get shot anywhere you go.
Anywhere, yeah.
Theater, Super Bowl party, school, and I mean, I am not making light of this. I thought about how does one react after something like that happens, coming from you're from Kansas City, you're a Chiefs fan, obviously you're just so hyped after the Super Bowl, and then it's just like it's just kind of a bummer. And then on top of it, then it's almost to the point to where I feel like you have to just, like, social media, everybody's outraged over something, immediately afterwards, I'm sure but people have it out for, let's say, Taylor Swift and Kelsey and all that stuff for whatever reason.
Yeah.
Right. And so the shooting happens. Taylor Swift donates. I forget how much she donates to the family. Kelsey, I believe he did the same thing, right?
Yeah, correct. I think they matched everything. Yeah.
And it's one of those things to where you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, because now people are kind of criticizing both of them for, I don't even know the reason, but I just know that it's just you if you don't like them, you're going to pile on whether they donated or not.
Yeah, doesn't matter. They're just trying to help the families. I mean, that's Kelsey podcast this week. They did a little short video. They're trying to put links together to help families. And it was cool to see, like, I know the players like hung around and like calmed kids down and kind of were people that could do what they could do. But yeah, it was weird. It was weird to, like, when it touches something that, like you said, we're numb to this because we see it all the time. But when it's like a place you've been, or like, then it just hits different. Or like you said, there's people I knew there.
Right.
So it's just scary.
Didn't Travis get into some issue because he ended up going to like an after party or something right after it happened?
Yeah. I think the players, the players all had, there was a event planned for them, and they did go there afterwards. And so, yeah, it's like you said,
what are you supposed to do? Like, what would you do?
Yeah. At that point, it sounded like the players got together. I think they were all pretty freaked out. I mean, they had to do the like all safe thing. They had to, announce like all the players were accounted for it. I think they just went and decompressed a little bit. Like, I got no issues with that. Like you said, what are you going to do? And to your point, you're going to get criticized for anything. If they ran away from the scene, they'd get criticized. But guys stayed and helped families out and stuff. They already had these plans. I mean, what are you going to do? Just cancel them, I think, especially in that mode. It sounded like they wanted to get together a little bit because that's a pretty sobering moment.
Do you think that whatever form our show takes down the road, whether we're doing a live show, podcast, whatever the content's going to be or whatever, do you foresee us tackling issues like this at all, or no? Or is this something that you don't necessarily want to talk about?
I think it makes sense when it applies to this scenario we're talking about, right? It has to do with me bringing up the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
And it's current events. I do in those regards. Yeah, I guess things come and go, or like I listen to a lot of shows in the morning, you know, that are intended to be fun, and they always say the same thing. Like I know McAfee last week, he addressed the shooting and then was like, but I'm here to like make you guys laugh. For me, it's like you acknowledge stuff and then move on, unless it's something that like hits home. So yeah, I think.
Are you prepared if and when these conversations do come up, dealing with people in the comment section on it? Like, have you encountered that in the last 10 years where you've been on social media, or maybe with your job or something, being criticized for liking something or talking about something? And we're kind of now to the point to where no matter what you're into, how benign the subject matter can be,
right,
it can always get weaponized somehow, where you're going to have to take, you feel like you have to take sides, or you try to play it on the fence or kind of vanilla. But then that's not really, I don't know if I necessarily want to, let's just straddle the fence and not upset anybody. And I don't care. Let me see if I can phrase this better, or I don't know if I can, and you may have to re-wrap it up. I don't necessarily care about upsetting people, or do I think what other people say or think affect a lot of what I do, but I don't go around imposing my will of certain things on a normal basis, to where my outrage of something or what I'm against or I don't like or whatever, do I go and let it be known. And it's kind of funny to say that, because I have a podcast show. Yeah. I'm on social media a lot. I'm not one of those people that likes to go and insert myself and be an issue or to be outraged by something. I'm more internal about that. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm the same way. I mean, I'm not one to, you know, I used to, when you read comments on stuff, you just get worked up, and I've just kind of taught myself to stop. I mean, even just small example is just like all the Chiefs hate, right? Like I'm sitting here enjoying my life, going like, this is so fun. Like, let somebody from the Midwest fly over country, enjoy some moments, while the rest of the world's like, screw these guys, we're done with them, you know? So if I go down comments on like the Super Bowl or something, start seeing like, you know, oh, they cheated, or it's just like, dude, stop. So like, I have to stay away from it. I think it'd be cool to like speak your mind a little bit if somebody is opposing you, because it's hard to tell who's just being an asshole,
right,
and just trying to cause trouble, or who really like is like, wow, you really think that? You know what I mean? Like, that's what I think is hard. It's really hard to tell who's being real and who's not, you know, who's just trying to like stir the pot.